Welcome everybody to the inaugural Miami Grand Prix. We're here in 2022 in the streets of Florida. It's a bit of a scorcher today around the streets of Florida, 29 degrees. So let's have a look at the track. It's a 5.4 kilometer circuit around the Miami International Autodrome today, with 19 turns and 3 DRS zones. It's a pretty flat track because we're in the car park at the Hard Rock Stadium. You got 8 to the right and 11 to the left. So let's hand it over to Jack Marshall for the grid.
Thank you, Sam. We had a great qualifying yesterday with Max Verstappen taking pole with a great 28.19. That's a great lap by Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton taking P2. It's a great thing for Mercedes to get that P2 and prove they can do qualifying. Perez in P3, Charles Leclerc P4, Carlos Sainz P5 with Russell behind him. Norris is best of the rest with Alonso, Ricciardo and Magnussen behind them. Ocon is P11, Bottas, Joe and Gasly. Then P15 we've got Kevin King with Yuki Tsunoda, P16, Mick Schumacher and Alex Albon behind them. Vettel and Stroll rounding off the grid.
Yeah, I think we're about to go down to the grid. So I think we should talk about, let's talk about Ferrari. Their engine issues continuing. Having that, obviously the, engine issue in Bahrain, and I believe an engine failure in Jeddah.
Yes, that is not great for Ferrari. I mean, we've talked about it again and again, and Ferrari just need to pick up their game. They need to kind of solve these reliability issues if they want to fight for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've got the pace, so I think, just slow down on speed for a bit, and then just work on reliability, because then they can just turn their engine up and just have more power anyway. But I believe we're about to go to the formation lap. Yes, we are. As we see that Red Bull, the Red Bull of Verstappen and the Mercedes of Hamilton, that's something we've seen before.
Red Bull and Verstappen have been on another level this season. They have just been pushing it and taking P1. They've just been doing too good. And Hamilton behind him, Hamilton is on softs.
Yes. Which is
really interesting strategy for Mercedes. Both Russell and Hamilton are on softs.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes are going to try and jump the Red Bulls. But I was mainly saying I think we know about Verstappen and Hamilton lining up on the front row together. We saw that a lot last year with that Titanic battle.
Yes, I mean Hamilton will be definitely he is. It's been a while since he has taken that P1 spot, and I think he'll be pushing for it today. Mercedes have looked at the different strategy and thought the Red Bull and the Ferraris are going mediums, let's go softs.
Yeah, and Hamilton obviously has that streak. He's won a race in every season that he's raced in Formula One. He's going to want to keep that streak going.
Yes, and here we have the cars lining up for the grid. The Aston Martin's in the back. Here we see Max Verstappen.
The 5 red lights.
And it's 5 red lights, and away we go. Max Verstappen, keep here. Lewis Hamilton is behind him. Lewis Hamilton goes down the inside, pulls ahead of Max Verstappen and sticks the move. Here we see George Russell, Lewis Hamilton's teammate, going on the inside of Max Verstappen, but he can't make the move.
And Lando Norris jumping Carlos Sainz up to P6. What a great start from Lando Norris, jumping, the Ferrari that's second in the championship at this point. McLaren's fourth, with a plethora of points behind them. But that's a great start from Lando Norris. I wonder how long he's going to be able to keep that P6.
Yes, McLaren has been great this season, and we have Lewis Hamilton. He's pulling ahead. He's 6/10 ahead of Max Verstappen, and George Russell's 2/10 behind Max Verstappen. I feel like George Russell may be trying to make a move on one of these straights. Charles Leclerc is 6/10 behind George Russell, so he's in a game of his own with Sergio Perez behind him. Lando Norris behind Sergio Perez. And Daniel Ricciardo takes the position from both Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz, but Daniel Ricciardo jumps back behind Lando Norris. Lando Norris keeping his teammate behind him. This is not a great start for Carlos Sainz. P6 jumping down to P8.
Bad start for Carlos Sainz, but I do want to say, I think we'll see it going down this straight. We can see how slippery that Red Bull is in a straight line. On the last straight, he gained 3/10. We're already seeing he's already gained 2/10 on Hamilton, getting in that slipstream, or not even partially in that slipstream. That's partially just of his own accord. Look how Verstappen pulled 3/10 on Hamilton, just going down that one straight alone.
Yes, that is absolutely amazing by Verstappen. He got a great exit and he just kept pushing it. And yeah, that's just amazing from him. I feel like Lewis Hamilton, we really want to push those soft tyres. He has the advantage at the start and he needs to break that toe, get out of that DRS range, So Max Verstappen can be like suffering with George Russell on his back.
Yes, and and George Russell's still sticking with Verstappen, so it's kind of a Mercedes sandwich for Verstappen right now. So I think they're going to try and pressure him in any way they can, and Toto Wolff is going to be saying to his drivers, just back him into Russell or force him into Hamilton or just force him into making a mistake. And we're riding on board with George Russell, who's kind of staying a steady gap with Max Verstappen, but Max is actually catching up to Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, that George Russell is really trying to push. He's also on the soft tyres, so he's wanting to get him Max so he can get into that relatively clean air to just try and stay behind his teammates so they can both push each other forward and trying to escape the Red Bull, but Max Verstappen's keeping George Russell behind him while trying to put pressure on Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, and still following the top three here, and I believe George Russell and these guys. He's still. This is a great fight for first place here, and Leclerc's actually not that far behind either.
Yeah, Leclerc's doing well. Here we see Esteban Ocon. We're following Esteban Ocon here as he tries to pass, and Williams.
Oh, and I think that's really it's front wing.
That was really close for Esteban Ocon. He was getting super close to that Williams. I'm not sure if he could have really made that move. No, the Williams tried to block him. That is really questionable from that Williams. Is it Kevin King or Alex Albon? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, and also I just want to point out Max Verstappen just put in the fastest lap of the race. So he is catching Lewis Hamilton, and I believe now that DRS is enabled, Max is just going to...
Has been enabled, yes. And we're going on to a DRS straight. Max Verstappen is in range of Lewis Hamilton, so is George Russell of Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez also have the DRS, so it'll be a great fight to see who can kind of jockey ahead of the other. And here we see Max Verstappen trying to get on Lewis Hamilton. Will he get close enough to make that move? No, he won't. He'll be waiting for the next DRS straight, which is on the main straight, so the long back straight that we will see soon. But George Russell staying behind. He's on those soft tyres. He'll be really questioning whether he should keep pushing or he should really save those softs.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to stay with Max. So, he's trying to play the team game, but I think if Max passes Lewis, George is going to take that opportunity. I believe, he is ahead in the standings, so he's going to want to take any opportunity he gets to get close to the top two, to Verstappen and Perez.
And here we see Verstappen, but he's also not able to make the move. It's kind of creeping closer and closer to Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton, we're really worried about it here. And back onto your point about George Russell, I believe that he'll be really trying to test himself because his teammate is a 7-time world champion.
Yeah, champion of the world.
Champion of the world. That is not going to be hard. Going into a team with the world champion as your teammate, that's not going to be great for him. He's going to be really trying to prove himself.
Obviously having those 3 seasons at Williams. 3 seasons, right? Yeah, 3 seasons at Williams.
The Williams, yes.
He obviously proved himself more than enough against the likes of Robert Kubica and Nicholas Latifi. But putting the Williams in, we said it last race out, but putting the Williams in P2 in Spa last year. I think he's more than showing his potential, and I believe we're seeing Max Verstappen trying to come up the back of Lewis Hamilton. He's going to go for a move around the outside, but no, he's not. He's going to just think about it, and we're just going to see him just follow him through this really tight and twisty section, up through this tight little chicane here. Really awkward little chicane to drive through, now we're going to see them coming back onto the back straight. Where that Red Bull and its incredible straight line speed can really shine against that Mercedes, and I think he is going to get the move done this lap. As we're going to see him going down the inside, Lewis Hamilton defending quite aggressively, but before they even get to the corner, Max Verstappen's passed into the lead of the race.
And here we have Lewis Hamilton right behind Max Verstappen. He'll be really trying to get that place back, but he's 4 tenths back. He's nearly 5 tenths back, and he really have to try to rely on that DRS. I imagine his tyres aren't good. Neither are George Russell's. They'll probably be lacking at this stage in the race.
Yeah, I think Max chose the exact right moment to get past Hamilton, because now this is exactly the point where the Mercedes tyres are going to start to drop off, and all the soft tyre runners are going to start to drop off. So the likes of the McLarens, of the Alpines, of the Alfa Romeos, of the Williams, and of the of the Haas of Mick Schumacher and the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel. They're all going to start seeing the wear on those soft tyres.
All those drivers on soft tyres and the rest on mediums, or as Pierre Gasly is on hards, which I think is an interesting strategy.
Very interesting strategy. Actually, it doesn't look like it's paying off for him right now. Started in P14, now down to P17, but I think we'll see how the race turns out.
Yeah, and Pierre Gasly, in last race in Imola, he was also on the medium tyres, which didn't really work out. It's really interesting that he's gone for the hard tyres. That one step up, maybe he's thinking his best bet is to go long, but it didn't really work out, so I'm not entirely sure his strategy.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we had maybe longer races, then potentially he'd have a bit more of a chance to try and stretch the tyres out and then have the track advantage as opposed to the pure pace advantage.
Yes, here we are following George Russell, who's right behind his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen overtaking Lewis Hamilton last lap, and Lewis Hamilton going into the pits. He's trying to replace those soft tyres. I think that's a good call for Mercedes.
Yeah, and I assume they're probably going to have the medium tyres there. Yeah, I think that's the yellow wall on those tyres. Yes, we just got to have a see. Yep, it's the yellow wall medium tyres. Lewis Hamilton going back out. He's gonna come out round about P9, P10. I guess we'll see.
Yes, we can see a lot of cars pitting behind. I think Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Gasly, a lot of... It's like actually Gasly's pitting.
Is Gasly pitting? Oh.
I believe that's Gasly pitting. Yes, that's very interesting from Gasly. Going hard, I wonder what he's changing to.
Oh, potentially he's had some sort of damage that we've just not seen, but... yeah, that's Pierre Gasly. He's starting on hards, only done 6 laps on them. So I think if this was their strategy, I think it would have been better off for them to just go on softs. But yeah, we're seeing Lewis Hamilton now down in P13. But we see once the likes of, pretty much everyone ahead of him, bar Russell, Leclerc, Perez, and Alonso, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Magnussen, not Alonso.
Pierre Gasly going into the medium tyres as well as Lewis Hamilton, and I imagine Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas. And we are currently following Lewis Hamilton, who's just gaining the kind of 1 second DRS to Lance Stroll. He'll be really liking that DRS just to push him forward.
Yeah, I don't think Lance Stroll's going to want to fight this too much. It's not really his race. Obviously, I seeing he is going a little bit defensive, but yeah, I don't think this is Lance Stroll's race, so I don't think there's much point in him defending against Hamilton here.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis Hamilton, I don't think he'll want that fight. He will be wanting to make that time up on the medium tyres, so when Max Verstappen pits, he can gain that time. We have a lot of people pitting. Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton's teammate George Russell, Lando Norris, a lot of people pitting.
And George Russell coming out ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
That's in.
The overcut's worked.
The overcut has worked. That is great for George Russell, though Lewis Hamilton is right behind him. Here we go to Kevin King. Who can he get ahead of Zhou Guanyu? He just can. That is a great strategy by the Williams team.
We're seeing lots of great moves by Kevin King. Obviously, last time out in Imola, his race start passing like 4 cars, but yeah, we're seeing now his strategy calls are also pretty incredible now. He's and his team, of course, Williams making the call to bring him in right at that point in time to make sure he's coming in at just the right time.
Yes, and we have George Russell just passing Lance Stroll, and I've got to mention Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Perez and Sainz. The Ferraris and the Red Bulls have not pitted yet, as well as Magnussen and Tsunoda and Stroll.
Yeah, they I believe they've all started on the medium tyres. Yeah. Yes, so they'll be wanting to pit to those softs to really push for the final stint. Yep, and I believe incident in sector 2, that Zhou Guanyu engine failure. We saw that big puff of smoke come out of the back of that Alfa Romeo.
Joe, I'm afraid we have a technical issue. Are you kidding me? Again.
That is very disappointing for Zhou Guanyu, rookie this season. I mean, he will definitely not liking that. This is not a race to remember for him. Here we see Lando Norris on his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, what was that? Oh, that is a lockup from that McLaren and running into the other McLaren. I wonder if Lando Norris has damage, and yes, he does. He's dropping all the way back to P19. And now it's a green flag again. Here we see Sergio Perez, who's just behind Charles Leclerc, 6 tenths behind. He'll be within DRS range. He'll be going onto this main straight, hungry to pass the Ferrari.
Yeah, and I think once he gets past Leclerc, he's going to want to try and get ahead of get ahead of Leclerc and then try and catch up to Verstappen, I think.
Yes, I mean, Verstappen overtook Perez last race in Imola for the lead of the World Championship. I mean, Perez would be wanting that back.
Yeah, Perez is going to want to, just fight and make sure he gets that place back.
Most certainly. Here we see Perez 5 tenths behind, going on to the main straight with DRS. Will he be able to catch up? He's 5 tenths behind, so he's just catching up, cutting down some of that time. And he'll be waiting. He'll be patient because he knows that Charles Leclerc will be like, the Red Bull is better than the Ferrari this season on race pace. So Perez will just be patient. He'll be waiting. No race control collision between Ocon and King. No investigation necessary.
Yeah, that's interesting. I must have missed that one. I must have been zoned out or something.
That was the replay we saw before of Esteban Ocon trying it on Kevin King, but then Kevin King closing the door on him, and that resulted in a broken front wing.
Ah, right. Yeah, that was it. I was wondering why Ocon had dropped so far down the order.
Yes, it is not a great race for Esteban Ocon. Just like his teammate last time out in the Imola sprint, Alonso taking a similar broken front wing, that time with Perez, who we are watching now, who's getting DRS, 7 tenths behind on the long main straight. DRS is going to be very helpful here, and so is exit. He is gaining, now he's got DRS, 5 tenths behind, 4 tenths behind. It is so close, but he does not decide to make the move here. He is deciding to wait once again.
It's interesting he decided to pull out instead of trying to stay in the slipstream to try and catch up a bit faster. But and that's Leclerc coming into pit now.
Oh yes, I feel like he met. Oh, and so is his teammate Max Verstappen also going in the pit. But Perez and Sainz staying out. So that's the two, the leading Ferrari and the leading Red Bull going in, and the other two staying out. I feel like they'll be pitting next lap.
Yeah, I think the medium tyres are going to start dropping off now, or at least the medium tyre runners are going to start pitting for those soft tyres now. I would assume softs. There's no way they're going to put onto hards, surely.
Yes, certainly. Here we see Sergio Perez, who's currently in the lead of this race, 5 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz, who equally has not pitted. Here we see Kevin Magnussen coming out of the pits.
On hards.
Wow, that is an interesting strategy decision. Kevin King pulling ahead of Kevin Magnussen, just like Kevin King did to Zhou Guanyu.
4 or 5 laps from the end, he's pitted onto hards. You know what? I'm not a race engineer. I'm not a race strategist. Something tells me that's not quite right.
Yes, maybe they ran out of tyres. That's the only explanation I can come up with. But here we see Kevin Magnussen has dropped 1.7 behind Kevin King. I feel like that's just warming up his tyres, but that is also that the hards don't have that much pace.
I just want to point out Kevin King in the points in a Williams.
Yes, that is great. Great stuff from Kevin King. I mean, those points will be crucial to Williams' team. They don't have any points yet this season.
Yeah, this will be their first points of the season, and Kevin King's first points as a Formula One driver. This is going to be a great result for Kevin King. Surely his team are going to be happy with this. Williams are, they've been a team that's been on the back foot for the past few years, and I'm sure they'll welcome 2 points with open arms, I think.
Most certainly. Here we have Kevin Magnussen with Valtteri Bottas behind him. Bottas getting DRS, but he can't get enough pace to get past the Haas. I mean, he will really want to save that bank of energy.
Yeah, I just had a complete loss of mind.
Here we see Esteban Ocon going round the outside of Lance Stroll, going on the inside on the final corner. Will he stay ahead? Who gets DRS? Ocon gets DRS. And I think he'll make that move stick.
I think there was a bit of contact there between Aston. I think he clipped his right tyre. I might be wrong, but I thought I just saw him turn in and then just kind of stop a little bit.
I mean,
and now we're seeing George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Leclerc trying to go right down the inside of Russell. We're going to see him going around this really tight and twisty section. Yeah, I've driven this on the simulator before. It's really difficult to get it right around here. But as we go onto the back straight, I'm sure Charles Leclerc will have that DRS, and he's going to try and get past George Russell. He's definitely close enough. We're going to see once we go past that DRS line, DRS wide open, and he's going to pull out to the inside, going to get past George Russell, and now we're seeing Perez overtaking Hamilton at the same time, as Perez gets past Hamilton and Leclerc gets past Russell.
Yes, that is a great overtake from Charles Leclerc, and also from Sergio Perez, which we just saw in the background. Fastest lap, Max Verstappen, who has pulled 4 seconds on Charles Leclerc.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, Max again just in a league of his own. He showed it last time out, pulling like a 6-second gap to the rest of the pack, to the rest of the pack, and now he's pulled out another 3.5 seconds in this race as well. Yeah,
the pace of Max Verstappen is absolutely undeniable. Here we follow Sergio Perez with Lewis Hamilton behind him. Lewis Hamilton's going to gain DRS. No investigation necessary for the collision between Ricciardo and his teammate Norris.
Yeah, I think that's pretty understandable. Obviously, Lando tried to go around the outside, always a little bit risky into a hard braking zone, and Ricciardo just locking up. Nothing really either of them could have done. Just a racing incident, I think.
And I mean, McLaren won't exactly be pushing for a penalty there, seeing it was both their 2 drivers in the collision, though that may create a strained relationship between the 2 drivers. Here we see Valtteri Bottas on Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda right behind him. Are they going to go 3 wide? No, but Bottas pulls ahead of Kevin Magnussen, but no, Kevin Magnussen can get a better exit, and I think he's staying in front of him. And yes, that is great defensive driving from Kevin Magnussen, making sure he got the better exit so he can stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, that's a great move by Kevin Magnussen.
Here we go onto the main straight. Valtteri Bottas once again gets DRS. He'll be really, really wanting to get that position back that he held for a fraction of a second. He's going around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, but does he manage to stick on the outside? I think he does, but Kevin Magnussen is pulling ahead. He then goes down the inside, but no, he decides against it.
And remember,
Yuki Tsunoda will be going on Valtteri Bottas. He's going around the outside, but I think Kevin Magnussen's blocking him. Valtteri Bottas goes the inside of Kevin Magnussen, and then the outside going side by side through these twisty corners, and Kevin Magnussen is now behind Valtteri Bottas. It's a great overtake from Valtteri.
Yeah, and remember, Magnussen's on the hards. So even with the tyre and the pace difference, I think he's still putting up incredible fight against Valtteri Bottas there.
Yes, that even shows the driving skill of Magnussen coming back for this season. He is managing to keep Valtteri for 2 DRS zones behind him. But now, here we see Yuki Tsunoda. He's got DRS. Will he make it past Kevin Magnussen? Here we see an onboard Kevin Magnussen who is gaining on Valtteri Bottas, but it is the battle for Tsunoda trying to get past, but he doesn't make it. And here we see Valtteri Bottas locking up his rear left tyre. He managed to stick ahead. Kevin Magnussen does not profit from that mistake, but I feel like Kevin Magnussen will be gunning for that position, same as Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, all 3 of these drivers are going to be trying to gun for that last points paying position. It's going to be really important for all 3 of these teams who are not that far up in the standings, obviously 6th, 7th and 8th in the standings. So yeah, they're going to want to try and get those points, or try and get that point that they just to Alfa Romeo and Haas tied on points, but AlphaTauri want to getting their first points of the season. They're going to really want to try.
Yes, and here we go to the main straight as they enter the final lap. Kevin Magnussen 0.4 behind Bottas, and Tsunoda 0.4 behind Magnussen. Neither of them can gain a position with the DRS, but they are going to 2 more DRS straights later on. Here we see the battle for 16th in the bottom right corner. Okay, so Kevin Magnussen, he's going to be pushing those hard tyres. He will have the advantage because his hard tyres will be fresher, less degradation on those tyres.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Max Verstappen just go around that chicane. He's been holding this race pretty much since the pit stops. He's been he's just had an incredible lead, and as we go down the final straight, Verstappen in a class of his own, second race in a row. This obviously showing why he's World Championship material, why he won the World Championship last year. And as he rounds the final corner, Red Bull will be celebrating as Max Verstappen crosses the line to win the Miami Grand Prix, and Charles Leclerc comes across the line to take second place, and Perez to round off the podium.
Yes, and we have a great battle for P16 right now. The Williams in the lead. I think that's Alex Albon.
And the race win, Max. P1.
Yes! Oh, what a race, mates. That was nice.
Okay, and they're all going down the main straight. It's a long DRS train. Will the McLaren of Lando Norris be able to make a move on Alex Albon? He does. Is he going down the inside? I can't quite see because we're currently... Oh. And Kevin King is that a battle between Kevin King? No. And Alex Albon. Norris goes down the inside. Is going down to the wire. Who has taken it? It's Norris in P16. That's a great move. Alex Albon in 17th.
I think we need to talk about Kevin King. P9 in the Williams. He's really showing case in that car.
Yes, he really is. That is a great session for Kevin King. Their first points for Williams this season. They will be absolutely loving that.
Yeah, and Red Bull's going to be absolutely loving this. Their second race win with... is it second race win with Verstappen in a row? At least.
It is. Verstappen won in Jeddah and Imola, and now here. I'd also like to point out Russell. Russell, P3, and now P4.
Yeah.
So as his streak has been broken of P3s, and here, this is your podium: Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez.
And the double Red Bull podium. I'm sure they're going to be happy with that. Massive haul of points ahead of Ferrari. Sainz obviously not having an incredible race.
Yes.
But
Sergio Perez, damage limitation. He has managed to still keep close. Max Verstappen gaining 25 points. Charles Leclerc and Perez also gaining podiums, with Russell P4, Hamilton, his teammate, P5, and Carlos Sainz P6. It was great from Alonso in P7, Ricciardo P8, Kevin King P9, and Valtteri Bottas P10.
yeah, I just want to... Yeah, I'm proud of Kevin King for that one. You know, I'm not really one to be biased. Probably shouldn't be biased on the commentators thing, but I'm proud of Kevin King for that one. He's putting P9 in the Williams.
Here we see the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen pulling further ahead of Sergio Perez, though there is only a 19 points difference. That is one race. George Russell, 77 points, P3. That's great for him, but though Charles Leclerc is chasing George Russell. Here we see the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull pulling clear in the lead, though the real battle is Ferrari and Mercedes. The second in the Constructors' Championship, they will be really gunning for it, and McLaren and Alpine also.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fight we're going to see all season long between Ferrari and Mercedes. If Mercedes can keep up their podium streak, to try and keep with Ferrari, to try and keep those points there.
Yes, certainly. And this has been the Miami Grand Prix. Please like and subscribe to the F1GTV YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this far, and we are surprised you're still here, quite frankly.
And say it quietly.
Subscribe to this because this is the best.
I did not like that at all.